Hello. What's up, everybody? It is your girl, Miss Natalie B. And you already know where you are. It is 6 o'clock on a Friday. So, honey, it is Free Your Mind Friday with the Healing Academy. And as always, y'all, I'm excited. But I'm really excited today because we have a very, very, very special guest. And her name is Angie D. Lee. First of all, I just love that name. Okay. It flows, it rhymes. Okay, Angie D. Lee. Who's about Angie D. Lee? Okay, yes. An amazing author. And I'm super excited to talk to her today about social emotional learning, which is the theme of this week. It's part of what she does, but she's an amazing woman. So we're going to talk about all of it, honey. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And while we're doing this, y'all go ahead, share, share, and tell a friend because we about to get into it. Okay. Hello, Miss Angie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Excited. And I can tell by your smile, you might be too. Yes. Well, I'm super honored to have you on the show today and for us to get into this conversation because it is a necessary conversation to have all the way through. And we do this often, but we do it with different people from different perspectives, different topics. But this topic has come up quite a few times. So I'm excited to see your perspective on it and to really dive into the real sense. We're going to get in there.
Yeah.
All right. So my first question to you and for all of the viewers watching is, who are you? Who are you, Miss Lee? What do you do and why do you do it?
Well, you know what? Whenever someone asks me, who am I honestly say this every time, and it's not rehearsed. It's just really how I feel. I just feel that I am a spiritual being having a human and that is so important to me because I think that encompasses growth, understanding, learning, and knowing that in this shell, it may not always last, but the spirit that's whole transcends in so many different ways. So in this arena right now, I am physically here and I'm having this experience, but I'm a spiritual being. And so I connect with so many things. I connect with people, I connect with nature, and just oneness. So that's what I would say, and I talk about who I am. That's truly who I am at the core.
And it's amazing.
Thank you.
Keep that answer, so that's an amazing answer.
But if I had to name like the checklist of things, when people say, well, who are you? And of course, I am a wife. I'm a mommy. And my kids are not that young, but I like to say mommy because I just think it just connects us like that. And believe it or not, they're 9 and 14. They still call me mommy. So I love it. And I'm just like hoping that they still call me that when they're like.
About forever. Don't change. Right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I love that. I am a professional. I am an author. I write women's fiction books. I'm a school social worker. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. And just a lover of life. Yeah. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
Awesome. All amazing things, sis. All amazing things. So you are in the social emotional learning game.
Yes.
You social work with the baby.
Yes.
And that's a thing. So we're going to get into that in a little bit. But I want to start with our coined question of Free Your Mind Friday, which is, when did you fall in love with our topic for the week? And it is social emotional learning. So how did that come about for you? How did it come about in your life in general? When you first realized it was a thing that you were doing it good or needed to get better at it. And then when did you know you wanted to go into that social work field?
Yeah. I would say when it comes to social emotional learning, I always was connected, I guess, to that, but I didn't know what the lingo was. I didn't know the terminology, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really come into the know of the term of social emotional learning until I became a school social worker. And so I became a school social worker in 2006. And so I've been in that world, that space since then. But prior to that, I worked in foster care. And I worked with kids that were either within the system, living with relatives, because they were pulled out of their home with their parents, but then also kids that were almost like emancipated. I was 21 when I started working as a foster care caseworker, and one of my clients was 19. We weren't that far apart, like seriously.
Right.
And that's when I really kind of started becoming more interested in this social emotional learning piece, because I'm like, we're 2 years apart, but our worlds are so different. How is
Yeah.
that? Like, we grew up in similar environments in the inner city, and but she had a whole other set of issues and things that she was dealing with that I just did not have to deal with. And I realized that as I learned more about her, because I was her caseworker, I had to learn about her case, I had to learn about her background. I started really understanding where she may have gotten certain experiences in her household that I didn't. And then vice versa. I received experiences that she didn't. And so the more I got to know her and talk to her, because she still looked at me like I was almost like 10, 15 years older than her. And I was only 2 years, but our worlds were so different. And so that's when I really started to kind of try to understand what set of skills did she not attain during her childhood, and maybe I did. And how is it that I ended up where I was? But this is where. And so, just for like the people listening, and watching, social emotional learning is pretty much like a set of skills in a sense that helps us to navigate relationships, set goals, achieve goals, also learn empathy, how to
That's a
establish
big
and
one.
maintain relationships. Like these are like basic things that were given to me as a child through my mom naturally. So it came very naturally because it came naturally to her. She was an educator. But there are a lot of other kids that don't get that. They don't get it in school. They don't get it at home. And so they grow up as adults, and then they're just trying to figure it out because they never got
Mm-hmm.
foundation. And so I was so drawn to that, learning more about my clients as opposed to just, a number on the list on the case load. Like, okay, I got to see them, I got to go to court, I got to check this off. But really connecting with them and really trying to understand where they come from and what it is that they felt they needed and what they lacked. And they didn't always have the language or the terminology because of their experiences in their youth. But they were speaking some things. You just have to listen. They were
Right.
telling you, what they needed and what they were lacking. So that's what I would say when I really kind of fell in love with social emotional learning. And then it was like I became a school social worker, and I'm like, oh, it's actual words.
That's a thing.
Right.
Okay.
So that's what I would say. Definitely, when I felt like I was just drawn to learning more about people and the things that we do and why do we do them. So. Yeah.
Absolutely. Getting into that field and having literally a case file where you can go through and pinpoint and track back
Yeah.
these things. Did that ever make you, at any point, make you want to go back over your life and like really figure that thing out? What happened in what stage of life and development? What you had, what you didn't have?
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a real eye opener when you work in fields like the helping profession, because you do start to kind of look at your own life and kind of assess. And sometimes I think we're all guilty of this as social workers and psychologists and therapists. We have our moments where we self-diagnose. And
Right.
that's okay. That's okay. But you just have to know how to balance that. Okay, So, but yeah, I did. I really started looking at just like my upbringing and kind of putting two and two together. Like, there's a reason why I'm the way that I am. There's a reason why I'm drawn to self-expression, or there's a reason why I enjoy quality time. Because I received a lot of that from my mom. There's a reason why I value family. Because there was a divide. Unfortunately, in my household, my immediate household, but my mom ensured that we stayed connected to as many family members as we could, even if we didn't see them, on a regular basis. So I'm drawn to that. And also, when I think about my interests and my talents, where do they come from? And that really made me kind of explore that a little bit more, reading the case studies and reading where, the kids are substance exposed, in the womb, and then they come out, and they're born into just this world of already addiction. Their kids
Yeah.
were already, they didn't even have a chance um, to figure out what they want to do with their lives. It was almost like it was determined for them through that. And so I think about that too, with I think about how connected I am with my family and how a lot of things were predisposed. And but what am I going to do about it now? You know, I have this information. Right. That's the
That
right.
part. That part. That's a really powerful point because
Yeah.
no matter if it was a great household situation or
Mhm.
okay, it was mostly great but a few things, or if it was just horrific as far as your household growing up
Mhm.
or your guidance growing
Yeah.
up, your parents,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say us since we
Right.
both mothers, like us as parents, fathers and included aunties, cousins, uncle, like the whole family unit, the tribe
Yeah.
really sets the tone of a child's life.
It does.
And what we embed into them early stays with them
Mhm.
forever.
It does.
And if it's good, it stays with them forever. If it's bad, it stays
Mhm.
with them forever because we establish their normal.
Right. Exactly.
So if not having emotions or not expressing yourself is the normal for your household, then that's your normal for the rest of your life until, like you said, you become an adult and be like, you know what? This might be a problem.
Right.
And you have to work on changing that.
Yeah.
Right. I always use the example. I say if I train my son since he was born, if I say 2 + 2 is 6, and then he goes and he's gonna believe 2 + 2 is 6, he's gonna say it with confidence. 2 + 2 is 6.
Right.
And then he go to school and the teacher like, okay, class, what's 2 + 2?
Mhm.
And he goes 6. Everybody gonna be
like, no, boo. No, it's not.
Mm-mm. It's not at all. But
Right.
that's how people are out here in the world with their emotions,
Yeah.
with like handling stress, with
Yeah.
a whole lot of things. But that's their normal, that's their base.
Yeah.
And for everybody else, it's like, what are you doing? But we gotta track that thing back and
Yeah.
pinpoint where it didn't happen. And then we can also use that information again to look at ourselves, but also help other people.
Right. Exactly.
Which is what I really like about your story, to go in and help other people. Like, okay, I've seen in these phases of development, this is what was missing. Now I can work with these young people and help them get to a different point. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're a writer. Where did writing come in for you?
Well, you know what? If I'm gonna be honest, when we talk about tracing back to, like these certain skill sets and things that sometimes we acquire from like our lineage, I can say the writer in my immediate household was my dad. He was an English teacher. He's retired now, but he was an English teacher.
Okay.
And a writer. And you know what I find so interesting? A lot of times people think that men aren't expressive. Where, there were some areas that my dad didn't necessarily really express himself, but he was actually still very expressive. He used a lot of words sometimes that I didn't even know. I'm like, because when you're an English teacher and you had
Be like, oh, okay,
you have a little bit in your arsenal. But
right.
his vocabulary was pretty extensive. And like I said, again, he was very expressive. So I know a big part of that comes from him. So I give him honor for that. That part that I was able to kind of grab hold to. And it really sparked a love of writing for me, even as a child. So I used to journal all the time. I was one of those kids that was just like, I had a little notebook. I would journal my day, like dear journal, and things like that. I did that. I did that in elementary school. I did it in middle, high school, college. And then
Moesha style.
Yeah. So, all of that. I was one of those kids. I did not mind writing papers. That's how much I enjoyed writing. And so that was always there. And I've always loved reading. And so because of that, it kind of just goes hand in hand. It's like, a hand that fits in a glove like perfectly is writing and reading together. And because that's always been there in me, that's something that I just didn't even think of like as a career growing up. When they ask you like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I never thought to say a writer or author. That's just not what I heard often, growing up. So that wasn't something that really came to mind. Fast forward to my adult years, and I mean well into my adult years. We talking like just a few years ago. I'm reading, and I love reading all kinds of books, like, women's fiction, self-help, I don't mind romance. I'm trying to get into a little bit more sci-fi, but love like
Start with Lovecraft Country.
right. Like just like anything, like anything, documentaries, memoirs, like anything. But women's fiction is something I've always been drawn to because when I was a child, my mom used to read Terry McMillan books, when I was like around 11, 12. But she was so adamant, like, y'all not supposed to be reading these books. She told me and my sister, you all not supposed to be reading these books. I'm keeping those over there. Now, when a parent tells you you're not supposed to do something,
that make you want to read it.
Right.
That makes you want to read it.
So I would sneak.
As soon as she walks away.
Yes. I would sneak these books to school in my book bag. And I would read them. And I would tell like my classmates, like, y'all got to read this. Because this was like a really big deal back then, like to read a really book. And I would read these books and I was so drawn to like the characters, like the stories. I just loved the way it was written. So I've always liked women's fiction. And so as I got older, and then like I said, again, fast forward to just years ago, I'm reading a few books and I'm like, come on now. Like for real? Like I was just like, is this really realistic for the modern woman? Like where are these women at? Because I was just like, I don't know about this. Because I'm like, I don't know, but it just got you right.
So this ain't hidden. This ain't.
It was not good. Okay. And so I happened to read a few books from the library, like back to back, because I was trying to give it a chance. It was specific authors. And after reading like 3 women's fiction books in a row, and I'm seeing like the same theme, like how it's written, I'm like, I need to write something for the real modern woman. Like I want to read that. I want to read that. And so when you get to a point where you're so invested like that you're willing to write it so that you can read it, that's when I knew, like, yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. And I did not go to school for it or take any classes, but the best teacher was reading and writing.
That's what you would do in school?
Yeah, exactly.
Read a whole lot of authors.
Exactly. Reading teaches you how the story should flow, especially if you're reading certain types of books, over and over again. It teaches you the writing style if you're really paying attention. And that is,
and I could tell it was for you because that's how I watch movies now. Because I'm in film, and so movies and TV, I'm watching a show like.
Exactly.
Sometimes I gotta turn it off just to enjoy a show. Like,
I'm
gonna leave it
I know. I get it.
Yeah, so that's how you was with that book. Like, I'm gonna keep reading, but
like, no, this ain't it.
So how many books do you have?
I have 2. So I self-published both of them. The first one, Discovering Leader, came out in 2018. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And then recently, I launched my second novel last year in December. Yeah.
And what's the name of the second one?
Something New.
Something New. Okay. Where can they find this? We're going to do this again at the end, but since we're talking about it, let the people know where they can find those books.
Oh, most definitely. Well, any like online book retailers, you can find them, but I'm just going to make it easier for everyone. Just go straight to Amazon. They right there. Just type in Angie D. Lee and the books will come.
Boop, boop.
Yeah.
Yes. Y'all better Amazoner, baby. Okay. Well, we know how you got your start in writing and reading first. Okay. And leading you into your authorhood. One thing I really, really like about your story is that you didn't start off from childhood like, I'm gonna write. I'm gonna be a writer. Some people feel like if I'm gonna do something, I have to already have been doing it since I was 2.5. What?
Right.
It's never too late. It's never too late to do what calls you. Because a lot of times these different paths call us.
Yeah.
And so I love that part about your story. I also really love the fact that when you were reading that book that was not hidden for you and for the modern woman, you were like, okay, I'm gonna do this for the women out there that feels like me.
Yeah.
Because that's how all great things start.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to do this because I don't see it. It doesn't exist. And that's how I move as well. If I'm looking for something and I don't find it, I'm going to create it. And so, yes, that's how we change the world.
Right.
That's literally how the world changed.
Yeah, it is. One step at a time. Seriously.
Absolutely. So I appreciate that part about your story too.
Oh, no problem.
Can you give us, I don't know if I'm asking for too much, but can you give us a little bit of one of the storylines from your book?
Oh, okay.
I don't, if it's too much, just tell them go bad. I'm
No,
okay with that too, sis.
okay. You know what? I will share a quote from
Okay.
my second novel, Something New. The three of us together were electrifying, but the two of us were spiritual. And that's from Something New.
Yeah. That sounds a little spicy.
Right.
Okay. Y'all go get that book now. Okay. I might have to slide over to Amazon while we in this interview. Angie D. Okay. That sounds a little spicy and I'm for it. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm for it. Also, that self-exploration piece, because that's what that brings me to. But just that one quote is like getting to know thyself and what you into and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But that all comes back to that social emotional learning too.
Exactly. So true. So true.
And I feel like a lot of us don't have that space where we can figure out who we are, what we want, what we like, what we don't like. Right. Because society or our upbringing is telling us we have to be one way. I feel like it's a lot of people out here that don't know who they are.
Oh, yes, for sure. For sure.
And it leads to a wall. It leads to masks because everybody and their mama wearing a mask. Just be who you are is how I feel. Mm-hmm. But if you don't know who that person is, that leads to a whole nother realm of issues in relationships and friendships and family situations. Yeah. So can you speak to how you establish that for yourself? Mm-hmm. Again, if you can, how you kind of establish that or what made you want to establish that in your books? Mm-hmm. And then working with the young people, how do you see that either way?
Oh my goodness. So, well, I'll start with myself in terms of, just establishing, like who I am. I think ever since I was a child, I was really okay not being like everyone else. Like I was okay with that. I wasn't a misfit, and I wasn't like, I'm out here and, I want to be a rebel without a cause. Like that was never me. Actually, I think a lot of times I come off to people pretty reserved, when they don't know. And that has a lot more to do with, I love sharing my space a little bit more deeply with people that I connect with. It almost seems a little bit like, I don't want to say a waste of time, but I like to give all of that to people that are willing to do the same. Like we're bouncing off each other.
Prove it and deserve it of your energy.
That's anyway, So, so I've never been, like I said, the misfit type, but I've always been okay with saying, no, this is how I am. I'm okay with that. I didn't really know when I was younger. I had moments because I was a child and adolescence. You go through that. You go through, your self-esteem issues. You go through in terms of like peer pressure and things like that. I think that was natural. But
that's that trying to figure who you are out phase.
Right. But what I found when I was younger, like I said, again, in my adolescent and early teen years, even if I tried to do something different, it just didn't fit. It didn't resonate. And it was hard for me. Like I felt like I was forcing, myself to be someone that I'm not. And I just, thankfully got to a point where I was just like, I don't want to do that. And I just want to be. And I want to see what happens if I just be. Like, I always ask myself, and I ask people this too, when they're struggling with something, what's the worst thing that can happen if you do what you want to do? Like, how does that feel? Like, what is really going to happen? Is it going to be like catastrophic? Is the world going to, you know what I mean?
Earthquakes.
But if it's not, then, like really kind of bask in who you are. So yeah, it took a journey, no doubt, like, from, again, elementary years and middle school and high school and college. I'm always learning about myself, but little by little, I became more and more comfortable with just being. And that takes time and it takes time. So, and then I would say in terms of like working with the youth and how do I teach them that, because it's one of those things that almost seems like an abstract like concept to try to teach, social emotional learning. But the biggest thing that I always start off every school year with, because I do work now with older, like 7th through 9th grade, is the age range that I'm working in now. but I've worked in every grade from pre-K to 12. And I've worked at every school setting from public, private, parochial. I've worked in alternative, so I've been in a lot of different settings. But when I'm working with older students, a lot of times we kind of kick the year off with what excites you. And that lets me know a lot about them when I open that question, put that question out there to them. Usually the first thing that they say tells me a lot about who they are.
And so, what was the question?
Yeah. So what excites you? What
excites you?
Spark? What is something that just makes you come alive? That's a big one. Because so many people hide that, or they feel like there's not a space to do it. So this, I'm keeping the year off with, I want to know about what makes you tick, what makes you excited. That's all we're going to talk about. This whole session is and I want to hear everything. So
and then that's a way to open them out too, because they're like, oh, I like this.
Right. And if you're a YouTuber, if you're a gamer, there are kids that are so excited about video games, not only playing them, but really understanding how to, even edit videos and come up with all this stuff. And they have no one to share that with because no one wants to hear about it. Sometimes the parents are so busy, and this is no fault, but so busy and so wrapped up in life that when their kid is like, hey, I want to show you something. I'm doing this, I'll get back to it later. And you never come back, and so.
Or that, okay, that's nice.
Right. And move on. Right. Or you're on social media while they're trying to show you something. It's
right.
not in tune with them. So that's what I
And that's teaching them something with social emotional learning too.
Exactly. Yeah. So we really kick it off with, I want to know about you. What excites you? That's important to me. And so that kind of opens the door to those conversations. And it's the buy-in too. They're like, okay, first time I'm, hanging with her, she's already wanting to know what I like. And we only focus on that. And then later on, we talk about, our dislikes and why we dislike them, or why this makes me uncomfortable, or I don't like when the teacher's talking to me and she's looking right in my eyes. I hate that. Why is that? We explore that. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why you don't want people too close to you. Maybe it's something that you've experienced in your life. I want to know about that. And so dissecting all of those different things that they like, that they don't like, that excites them, that bores them, that's all about learning who you are. And they don't even realize that that's what we're doing until later on down the line. It's like, no, you know who you are. You just haven't felt comfortable expressing it. Really.
That's the best part, when you sneak up on them.
Right. Right up on them. But yeah, we get deep. We get deep, and we talk about a lot of things. And the more comfortable they get with me in the sessions, they become more comfortable. They can start identifying on their own after a while. I don't like when my mom says to me this, that, and the third, and I'm going to tell you why, Miss Lee, because this is that. And I love that. I love go have at it. And I'm one of those workers where I do allow them to, if they curse, they don't do it often, but sometimes it's the expression, it comes out like that.
Right.
And I always just have a rule, as long as you're not cursing at someone in the group, or trying to curse me out or whatever, but if you are like, man, I had an effed up day today, whatever it is, I don't stop you and say, you shouldn't have said that, I allow you to feel all of those expressions. Later on, we'll come back and clean it up. We'll talk about, in certain settings, this is the language you typically use, or this is that. But at the beginning, it's raw. It's raw.
Yeah, let them get it out.
Let it all.
If they're willing to get it out, let them finish.
We do. Yeah, those kind of skills, but the biggest thing is building the rapport with them and teaching them how to build rapport with people too, because a lot of our young people just don't have general social skills of how to relate, and technology is not really helping. Something it's great, it's good use, but it's not really helping them to really connect with someone else in a space where we're talking face to face. I want you to see when I fidget, or I want you to see when I blink. I want you to see me sweating a little bit because I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I see that.
All of those body language can
right.
And everything else.
Yeah.
Missing it. So I think one thing you said about the technology is so important, because we have to be more vigilant.
Yeah.
I didn't want to come out. Vigilant now more than ever, because our babies are like being born basically with a phone in their hand.
Yes.
And so if we're not teaching them how to talk to people, how to respect people, how to treat people, because these social emotional learning cues are online as well. You gotta address people a certain way, talk to people a certain way, care about what you say, and like those things are also accurate on the screen and typing as it is in person. But it's getting further and further removed where you see what they say, a keyboard gangster. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of these different things where people got all types of energy to just be wild and not respect people's emotions and not think about how others are feeling or have empathy for someone having a bad day. Because it's all virtual and they're not getting that physical connection often enough. So even more so now than more than ever with these babies, like literally being born with these devices, we have to make sure that we implement this in them early and often. So I love the fact that you give them these skills that they can take home. Like they can put it in their bag and they can be like, I feel this way because, or somebody said this to me and it made me feel this way because, and track that back. And those are skills they can use forever.
Yes.
And adults can use these skills too.
Yes. Like
that's the magical part about it.
And you know, you'd be amazed, you know, because obviously I work with students and my role in a school setting is really to always bring it back to academics because they're in school. That is the nature of a school social worker. But there are a lot of times that I do incorporate a family unit because I'm a big proponent of family systems when I do work with students. Because I know they play a huge role, like the parents, the students, the siblings, the extended family. So any way that I can bring them into the fold and we work on this together is ideal. It doesn't always happen, you know, but it's ideal because the parents are also lacking a lot of those skills. You know, we've just kind of gone through life to learn like, okay, I work, I put food on the table, I do this, I do that, but there's nothing in between. So when your child is not performing in school, they're skipping classes all the time, they're having conflicts with any and everybody that they come in contact with, a lot of parents really don't know how to stop and be like, okay, we need to go back to the drawing board, not just yelling at them. How you do this?
Because that doesn't do anything.
You know, and then they come up to the school, you know, and nothing is getting done. Nothing is.
Yes. But how are we fixing the problem?
Exactly.
Let's think about it.
Let's get to the root of it. So I'm very big on somehow like tying in the family piece if I can, if they're available and if they're willing, you know, but if they're not willing, we go a different route. We just deal with that child and try to give them as many tools as possible so that they can start to grow up and learn the necessary skills that they need to thrive, not just survive, but like thrive in life.
Yes. Be amazing, productive beings in this world. One thing that I really enjoyed about your first intro, you said, I'm a spirit. Like, I am a spiritual being. And I think that's one thing we all need to realize, that we're spirit first. This body is just a vessel because we're energy. And energy don't die. So even when this body is like, I'm done, spirit still gonna live on. And so we have to tap into that spirit and social emotional learning, and then just treating people right, morals, like all of these things tap into spirit. Like no matter what religion or spirituality you identify with, that's source, and it's low-key scientifically proven. Okay. It's rooted. Okay. It's rooted in fact. All of that is rooted in facts. And so we really have to start thinking about that, because when we're not teaching these social emotional learning cues, we're damaging the spirit.
We are.
And again, what are we producing into the world? Because it's our job to set them up. And like you said, with people who are being born with drugs in their system, that's kind of what we're doing when we're not setting them up right with a healthy social emotional or healthy mindset or self-love, all of these different things. When we're not setting them up with these things that they need, we're putting them out in the world. They're basically born with a defect. And now they have to go through life and try to figure out how to reprogram themselves from what we've been programmed into them for most of their lives.
It's true.
One question I do want to ask though is there a difference between the approach for the older young people and the younger young people, like the baby?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you said. pre-K or kindergarten.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's still all the same thing, but definitely because, you do have to kind of assess where those students are. And sometimes you may even have a student that's 16 years old, but their mind operates like a 5-year-old. And that's something that,
Woo, wait, sis. Hold on. You just, you better speak on it.
It's
you
true.
might have a 26, 36, 46, 56-year-old who is still stuck.
Yes.
Okay? Please speak on it, sis.
I'm telling you, so I don't go by chronological age. I really don't.
Please speak on it.
What's huge for social workers, therapists, anybody, again, in the helping profession, you have to learn how to meet people where they are. And so I'm dealing with people that I'm cool with, or like I talk to, I need to remember where they are. And so I can't expect them to meet me in a place that either they're choosing not to operate in or they don't know. And that is okay. It's just that we have to accept that may not be the connection we're going to have. So a lot of times I approach with the younger kids, especially when they're really young, like we're just now getting out of diapers and stuff. We just, I'm saying, like really young. I'm focused on, do you even know where's your right hand? Do you know where your left hand is? Like very basic stuff. Like, do you know one or two? And the reason why, because we're going to talk a lot about differences. Like what things are the same and what things are different. And so we may talk about like, okay, do you have a mommy and a daddy? Okay, do you have a mommy and a mommy? Do you have a daddy and a daddy? Do you have a grandma and a mommy? Like we're talking about just the household, the structure. What does that look like to you? That's very basic, and that starts them off early with identifying where they fit. Like, and if they're able to grasp that, then we move on to, okay, who tells me when to sit down? Who feeds me? Who does this? And recognizing, in a sense, what I'm doing is teaching them who are their external supports and recognizing that first. So now when they're older, obviously I'm talking about, okay, who are your friends? Who are you hanging out with? Who can you trust? Who's loyal? Right. I use those words with the older ones, but with the younger ones, I just want to talk about basic stuff like who feeds you? Who do you live in a home with? When you're sad or you're crying, who comes and gives you a hug or, something like that. And again, that's teaching them all of these external supports. They're not old enough or even they don't have the mindset yet to understand how to do it on their own. So they have to learn who do I, lean on for support. And then we'll eventually, talk about it.
And I think it's also really good that you start that way because it makes them think about, like, you know what? My mommy does take care of me.
Yeah.
My mommy does, wipe my tears when I'm crying. And it kind of gives them appreciation for the people who are in their lives. So that's really dope. Yeah. I think it really comes down to when we're working with youth as far as social emotional, and then I'm going to lead it over to adults because you hit a nail, son. Boom, right on the head, sis. We gotta talk about the adults. We can't just it starts with the youth, but then it builds up. Okay. It definitely does. So one point that you nailed was like the fact that you want to not only work with these young people, but you want to work with these adults.
Yeah.
Because they may have missed the information that you're teaching these children or young adults or however old they are. And so they won't be able to fully support them as much as they could or can if they had the information.
Right.
But then when you get to adults, it's their choice.
Right. It is.
They have to choose to be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna come and sit with my child in this room, but they have the choice.
Yeah.
So with one thing with the Healing Academy that we do specifically is like that's our mission. So we're working to open a school where social emotional learning is one of our pillars, where we not only work with the young people, but we're working with those families too, because we know that they may have missed it. Right. So for all of the people, let's talk for a second or longer about the stages that we missed. I look at a lot of the problems or issues or things that we may look at in the world stems from a lack of social emotional learning
Yeah.
where you stepped on my shoe, so I'm gonna fight you. Oh, okay. All right. That's
Yeah.
a lack
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
social emotional
Definitely.
learning.
Yeah.
Bullying and like all of these different things,
Hmm.
which is like a huge like push. Now more than ever, they're like stop bullying and
Right.
campaigns are created around it. But how do we stop bullying?
Yeah.
It's one thing to just say it, but how do we stop bullying? And again, those characteristics in those people, unless somewhere along the line someone intervenes,
Yeah.
it continues on to adulthood. So
Hmm.
now you have adult bullies.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now you have adult people that don't know how to use their emotions or figure out how they feel and communicate how they
Yeah.
feel, right? So the other nail you hit on the head was you have some grown people
Yes.
who's emotionally
Yeah.
6 years old.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious that you said that because I don't know if you watch a show called Married at First Sight, but
I've heard. Yes.
there's this current season is
Yeah.
real ridiculous. Okay. And every time I watch the episode, I'm watching the behaviors, the responses, like all of it, just all of it
Yeah.
of this one particular man. And I'm like, emotionally, he is 2 years old.
Yeah.
And once you know and you start going on the journey of social emotional learning, you can tell the signs. So
Yeah.
this will also save a lot of lives and relationships, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Get in no serious relationship with no 3-year-old
Yeah.
mentally and emotionally. Don't do it.
Right. Right.
So we have to learn these things to save us a lot of times too.
That's true. That's so true.
Save yourself. Learn social emotional. You can Google it if you need to. Okay. Please save yourself. And so like he can't tell the truth.
Yeah.
He like talks around subjects. When something is brought up that he doesn't want to talk about, he literally starts talking about something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you said this to so and so and that was wrong. I think I'm gonna have some pizza for dinner tonight. Like literally, and this is a grown man. It's like, oh, you're 2.
Right.
You're 2 years old. And so we have to identify the fact that if people miss these steps early,
Yep.
they become adults with the same
Yes.
issue. The same issue. So have you, because you said you worked with adults as well, right?
Well, mainly the families now. So like the parents.
Okay.
Yes, I see all of that too. Okay. So
and you see those same traits in the young people, right?
Exactly. And we always say that, like, if you work in education, and this is not trying to be funny, but a lot of times when we are working with students and then we meet the parents, we're all like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I did it. So yeah, so a lot of times that is shown. It's a cycle. Yeah.
It's generational trauma that we need to heal. So
Yeah.
like real life, I feel like as a parent,
Yeah.
it's our duty as parents to become our best selves.
Yep.
Heal from our trauma so that we don't pass that one to our children, because it's going to be an endless cycle of foolishness. You got to stop the endless cycles of foolishness, y'all. We really, really do, okay?
So true.
Absolutely do. So do you address, again, I'm coming back to the book. I'm always give you a warning when I'm coming back to the book. Let me know if you want to talk about it. Tell them to go buy the book. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. But is there or are there traits of this in your storylines? Do you implement these things within your stories?
Oh, for sure. And what's so fun about writing? So at work, I have there aren't any other social workers that work in my building. I'm the only one. But I also have connections with the other social workers that's within our network. So we meet like once a week. We have a supervisor that is a licensed therapist, and we kind of just bounce ideas off of each other and talking. So they've been reading my book, and they're just like, Angie, you are such a social worker. We love it. They can kind of see through the stories. They're like, oh my God, like, you help us really connect with the characters. You draw us in because you want us to really know who they are. And so that is my nature as a social worker, is always trying to understand the whole person and not just these little, small aspects. So I put that a lot in my book. I definitely give you a really good, extensive backstory about definitely the protagonist, the main character, but then also the people that are connected to her in her circle. And so, yeah, it's a lot of things that go on in these books. There's selfishness, there's narcissism, there's confusion, and a sense of entitlement. You see a lot of those different, behaviors come out in a lot of the characters, which is fun for me to write because this is what I do. But I do it sort of like a fiction book, And so, yes, it's very entertaining because you have to draw people in. But I'm always kind of lacing it a little bit with therapeutic practice. So, yeah.
And what I like about that is even for the people who may not know the terminology, right? Even for the people who may not know if they're literate or not in social emotional learning, what's interesting is that if you enjoy reading, you're going to read this book and you're going to start picking up on some things and you're going to be like, oh, that's a narcissistic person. Or, oh, that was really selfish of them. And you can compare that back to their backstory and go, you know what? They probably act like that because when they was 9, this happened to her. So, and you get to piece it out. So you're low key, while they're reading your book, low key, they're learning. Social emotional learning.
Yeah, for sure. It just happens like that. I don't even really plan it, but it's because of the way my brain is wired. So I tend to write like that a lot. So,
But that's what's so powerful about art. I don't know if you can consider yourself an artist.
Yeah, I definitely.
But you are, because literary arts is an art form.
Yeah.
That's what's so amazing about art. We can literally teach.
Yeah.
We can mold minds. We can shine lights on certain things. We get all through our art form without people know they're learning. They don't even know they're learning. And we can sneak it on in there. I love it.
I sneak it all the time.
I love it. I love it. I tell people I used to work at an art gallery and I would break down a painting so much. A couple times people were in tears after I got done breaking down this painting. And it's just like, you wouldn't think normally, and I do the tours with young people, just by looking at this piece, would you really have gotten that? Like if you just brush past it, if you just look, oh, that's a nice piece of work. That's why you really have to pay attention to things. But again, that's the amazing power of art, because someone can be looking at them and talking to them for an hour and 30 minutes about a topic, and they'll just be like, doo-doo-doo. What did I just say? Doo-doo-doo.
Right.
But they get a book that they like that tells them exactly what that person just said for an hour and 30 minutes, and they get the same conclusion at the end. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So thank you, sis, for using your artistry to help educate the adults in the world that may have missed those steps.
Right.
Of social emotional learning. And it's okay. Know that we're not judging when we say that. Because half the time we miss some steps, so we got to go back and find them too.
Exactly. We are not exempt just because, there are days where I have my days, and then I have learned when I have those days, now what skill can I use to express that, without being destructive or turning my whole world upside down, because I need to acknowledge how I feel though. Like I'm not about to just act like it doesn't exist. But what can I do instead of just yelling at everybody because I'm having a rough day, or, cursing everybody out that I see that walks, next to me because I am frustrated. And that's a skill. Like you said, I mean, it's a lot of students that are still learning and they feel like, but I'm mad. I should be able, this is what I do. And I ain't gonna let nobody talk to me like that, and it's like, at the same time, we get it, we acknowledge it, but what's a very effective way, that we can say how we feel. So it takes a while. I mean, I've worked with students.
And it's an ongoing thing.
Learning is lifelong. So
it's never like, oh, closed book, I'm done, I got it.
Right.
Especially when you're talking about, because this is a part of social emotional learning. Y'all might not want to hear it, but I'm going to let you know. Knowing your triggers. Ooh,
yes.
You don't want to talk about that, though, right? We're going to talk about it. You have to know your triggers and being able to communicate and articulate how you feel. So let's put it in a relationship perspective. So your book is about relationships.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay. So let's put it in a relationship perspective real quick, right? So I had this conversation with a gentleman. He actually just wrote a relationship self-help book.
Okay.
But we would have deep conversations on things. And I put it in this perspective. I say, okay, so if something happened to me I'm taking it back, analyzing my past, because that's step one we have to do, right? I was in like 3 bad relationships back to back to back, right? And they were all people that yelled, right?
Yeah.
So now I have a trigger
Mm-hmm.
because when I'm yelled at, I'm going to react differently.
Right.
Right? So now I need to realize that that's my trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So, or I was in a relationship saying something crazy, because sometimes it'd be little stuff.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship with somebody and it was a bad relationship, and they always set the cups up instead of down when it was drying. And so now that's a trigger for me.
Yeah.
Or my mom used to yell at me about it when I was little. So now that cup situation is a trigger for me. And now you married.
Yeah.
Or you together with a man and y'all living together. And he sit that cup up.
Mm-hmm.
And you go off because that cup is up.
Right.
Okay? You go off. What you always right? And you have to understand, like, well, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
He don't know.
Right.
That man ain't magic.
Right. You better tell him.
Or that woman, whoever it is, that person ain't magical.
Right.
You have to be able to realize, like, woo, this ain't got nothing to do with them.
No.
My mama used to snap on me for putting cups up. And so now I'm snapping on this grown person and they don't even know why, right?
Exactly. That is true.
You gotta find your triggers, y'all. Find y'all triggers.
Yes.
And then calmly express why that thing bothers you,
Yeah.
and give that person an opportunity to shift.
Yeah. And stand on it. I mean, there are some things, and obviously that, again, that's another skill. Like, is this something that I really need to make a big deal about? Is this that's a whole other level.
That's me. That's
a whole other way, right? There are some things that should be your non-negotiables. And you should
absolutely
come into, a relationship if you feel that, yelling is just unacceptable. That needs to be stated. Like, I don't
early too, like at the door.
Yeah. Like, I don't communicate well that way. I shut down. That doesn't make me feel loved or cared for. Like, be able to say that. And then there's also non-negotiables that may just be like, I can't date somebody with kids, and you have to be okay with that. Like, it's okay. You don't have to stop, and say, like, maybe I should. That comes with time, and that comes with, like, you evolving. You may feel like, okay, I feel like that this year, but maybe 5 years down the line, you may be like, you know what? I've evolved a little bit more in myself. I'm a little bit more open to that. But don't ever do it because, you feel like you're trying to impress someone. You're trying to, get them to like you.
Because it's not going to sit right with your spirit. Because like you said, you soul, you spirit, you would be in first.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what we talked about earlier about that freedom.
Right.
Of getting to know yourself, what you like, what you don't like, what you want and what you don't want. And then, like you said, standing on that.
Yeah.
Because compromise is going to happen, yeah, of course.
Right.
But those non-negotiables are really important to have those. All right, everything else we can talk about, but this, and this. And if I feel like if a lot of more people had that or knew their self enough, or listened to themselves enough,
right,
to really stand on those things, we wouldn't get in a lot of bad relationships that we get in, whether that be friendships, business partnerships, or romantic relationships. If we stood on our non-negotiables, or if we had them, we wouldn't have entered that space. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, you just respect it. You don't have to like it. A guy could be like, she don't want to date me because I don't have kids. Yeah, you can go up in arms about it. You can throw a fit, or you could be like, you know what, that's her choice and that's her decision.
But that's social emotional learning.
Right. Exactly.
Everything's not going to go your way. You can't have a tantrum.
Yeah.
And I read and I recommend this book all the time. But have you read The 4 Agreements?
Yes, I have. When did you read it?
Oh my God. So I've actually, a friend of mine gave it to me a long time ago and it went on my bookshelf, right? Yeah. But recently, like, it was assigned to me to read it. So I read it and I was just like, my whole life? What? Like,
yes.
Babies need to read this book.
Yes.
Read this baby as a bedtime story to babies. Like, this needs to be before they can read. Read it to them.
Teach them,
everyone should live their life by these because it will change way the world works.
It will.
And that's the part of that social emotional piece. Don't take that ain't got nothing to do with you. What? Like, y'all go check out The 4 Agreements along with these books. We're gonna get y'all an Amazon cart list together. Y'all just go get all of these books.
Yeah. Right.
But don't take things personal.
Yeah.
That ain't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
They have the right to their opinion.
Yeah.
If somebody walk up to you and be like, oh, that outfit is trash-tastic. I'm like, oh, Okay. Good thing you ain't put it on. See you later.
Didn't ask you, but I mean, you are entitled.
Right, to your opinion. Thanks
Right,
for expressing that, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. I like it. That's why I put it on. Okay. Like it'll be a whole lot less fights out
right.
here in these streets. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Wars have been fought because somebody got in their feelings.
Yeah.
Like we need to do better. And those 4 agreements, they say it in the book like it will have you live in heaven on earth, and I swear it will.
Yeah, that's the perfect book, like you said. That hits the nail on the head for sure.
Absolutely. Be impeccable with your words. Like all of them. Y'all listen, 4 agreements. Y'all check that out too. And teach it to your children. Teach it to yourself. Then teach it to your children.
Yes.
Because the world would be a better place if we all just follow those 4 agreements.
Yeah.
And that's all social emotional learning.
Yeah.
But as adult, I understand how it gets harder.
It does.
To one, identify and want to change, because some people can identify an issue and not do the hard work, because the hard work is to actually make steps to change it.
Right.
Going back to the scenario with the cup, right? I'm going off on you about this cup. It's easy to just keep going out, right? And then afterwards, think about it and go, man, I went all on him about that cup. Yeah. And keep it moving.
Right.
Yes, you did. Now, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
Another point is saying sorry.
Yes. Taking responsibility. And that's huge. Now, that's something, too, I feel like a lot of adults struggle with. And with their kids, that's really tough when you have kids and prideful. And, the pride won't allow you to say I'm sorry. I've said that quite a few times to my kids. Like, if I was kind of quiet or like standoffish or short with them. And then it's like those moments where I kind of deal with it and I come back, later and be like, you know what, that wasn't okay because that's what I'm dealing with, not you. And it's because of you, but I have to do that because the more I model it, it becomes very natural for them. And then if they, they're struggling with it, I can always come back to, well, I taught you how to do that. So it's your turn. So I'm not going to tell you to do something that I'm not, doing. So a lot of times the modeling piece is huge too, is show people. You can tell them all day long, but show them that, you are responsible for your actions and you really are genuinely sorry. And the only way that you can do that is, by showing them and giving them time, so.
And that piece for the parents who don't, and if again, not coming at you if you don't say sorry, but take that note, realize that's one of the flaws, and then do better. Because as long as we're alive, we can always shift. We're always learning. We're always learning ourselves. We're always shifting as people too, based on life experiences. Say you're sorry to your children. Yeah. Just like your mama told you not to read that book.
Right.
But she was reading that book though. So as soon as you got away, you read that book. Okay. We're gonna bring it back around, right? You read that, but she was reading that book. You read that book too. Okay. So if you cuss people out and you telling your kids not to cuss people out, more times than not, they're gonna be out here cussing people out. Okay. If you're saying sorry, we just like they pick up the negatives, they pick up the positives too. Yeah, so if you're gonna, instead of yelling at them, if you sit down and say, "Hey, come on, let's talk. Right, let's talk about it," and then really try to figure out why they did what they did, instead of just yelling at them for doing it. Because half the time, these kids don't even know what they did, why they getting yelled at.
Really don't know, and that's the most frustrating part, I think, for the students. It's like when they come to school and they're talking about that, or they walk in the door already. Like, I'm like, how did you have a bad day already? You just woke up like 30 minutes ago.
At 8 a.m.
But sometimes it's an argument, before they leave out of the house. It's a whole big thing. And they bring that, with them to school. And like you said, they have no words or way to really express, what's going on. But, they're angry because they don't even understand why these things are happening to them. Why are you yelling at me, because you spent all your money, on this, that, and the third. Right. Because I'm asking you for money for food. But I thought you was a parent. That's what
I'm supposed to do when I'm hungry. You supposed to feed me. But that is so true, and it just keeps passing down. That's why we got to stop that cycle, because that child that's how they're going to react to their peers, to their partners, to their kids when they have kids, and then it's just going to keep going. Yeah. So we have to show them something different. We have to be something different. That's going back. So we have to work on ourselves, so we can be better parents and create better beings. Because we do them a disservice when we don't. And we're not preparing them to live in a world where they're going to be held accountable.
Yep.
Where they are going to have responsibilities, where they are going to be expected to talk to people with some type of respect, or manage their emotions, because life gonna happen and everything's not gonna go your way, sweetheart. Like, how do we prepare them for that properly? And I know it's hard a lot of times for parents, because like you said, they're working or they're in and out, or when they come home from work, they're tired.
Right.
It falls on the parents, especially nowadays with being home and COVID and all of these things that are happening. But we got to find the time, because once the job is gone, these kids are still going to be here, and they're going to be adults. And what kind of life are they going to live based on the things that you poured into them?
Right. That's so true.
And what kind of things that you had to go through, having those struggles from your parents or whomever you get these traits and characteristics from. Right. If you don't want them to go through the same thing, then we have to shift for them. But I think it's just really important that we work on the youth, but then we got to talk about these adults too. It go hand in hand. It's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? It's like the trauma or the, like, what comes?
Oh, I know, right? Sometimes you really don't know where to start. That's a good point, because sometimes I have found myself in situations like, okay, should I be like trying to deal with the mama first or the daddy or like the kid, and it's like, we just got to take what we can take, and we get in there and we do the best that we can to teach to those that are willing to listen. So
that part.
Yeah.
Everybody's not gonna, you can take the water. You can lead the horse to the water, right? Can't make them drink.
Yeah.
The whole ocean right here, you ain't thirsty? No? Okay. I did my job. I took you there. Did the best I could. And we gotta be comfortable in that. And I think a lot of people in your profession specifically have to learn that quick, because you can get caught up in people you really want to say, because it's really great people out there that don't want to do the work. And you just want to help them. You want to help them. But everyday people too. I think that happens to people that get caught up in relationships or friendships, family situations, where they're like, oh, but I just want to help you. Let me help you. I'm right here. The answer's right here. Yeah. But if they're not going to take that answer, honey, you got to walk away for you.
Yeah. And that's like an advanced social emotional skill at that point, because I talk to people a lot about healthy detachment, because that's something that I do. If I'm in contact with so many people, so many issues on a regular basis, like I need to learn how to detach from that, because there's no way I'm going to carry all of, everyone's problems and still try to function, for myself. So
you'd be a bag lady, just wore down.
that's my non-negotiable. It's like, I can't, carry all of your weight. I can be there with you. We can be in this moment in time, in the present moment together, and I can hear you, and I can listen and I can breathe with you. We're going to talk about solutions too, but after that, I have to step back, because now it's for you to make that decision. And I have to like literally take your weight, and I'm just going to sit it right here. I'm not
one thing that a friend of mine, Dion, and we always say, it becomes our coin turn when certain situations happen, is that's not my bag.
Yeah.
That's not mine. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm not even going to look at it. That's your bag. Right. You need to hold your bag. I'm not holding it. Yeah. It's not for me to hold. It's yours. And we have to get to that point, because again, you'll be the bag lady with your mama bags, your daddy bags, your cousin bags, your sister bag, all the bags, plus your bags, because we all got our own bag. I got my bag. My head, I'm good. I got mine. You can hold yours. I'm not gonna hold it for you.
And teach your kids.
I can help you to a place where you can get to the bag so you can pick it up. But I'm not picking that bag up.
And teach your kids early too. Like, I'm not going to carry your bag literally and figuratively. They'll be right. We at the stove. You pick that bag up. You know what I'm saying? That's the food you wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's yours.
Right. But at the same time, even with my kids, they're at an age I could definitely teach them. These are things I'm not going to carry for you. Now I can work with you, and I can help you, but I'm not carrying it. You have to kind of start learning what to do with that. And the sooner the better. Like, I think it's about westernized society. Like, we are so afraid to allow kids to do certain things like that. Like, these are major life skills that in some other countries, you have kids that are cooking full-blown meals at like 3 and 4 years old.
Come on. Like, over open fires.
Right. And
so have a stove.
We wait a really long time to teach them these basic life skills. And so it's not
And
going
then expect them to be able to do these things when they hit a certain age. How if you ain't teach them?
You didn't teach them. Yeah. Yeah. And you don't have to punish them with learning how to do things, but literally little by little, you take little pieces away and see what they can handle. If they can't handle it, we go back to the drawing board and we learn it. You know,
take a step back. He was good at this level. Let's go back to this level.
Exactly.
Yes. And that's actually doing the opposite too when you punish kids by doing. Oh, okay. I'm gonna give this one example. This is literary, but okay. If the kid don't do what you want them to do, oh, you know what? We turn off the TV, go read a book. Now they're gonna associate learning or reading with them being in trouble because they didn't do what they needed to do. Exactly. You're making it a punishment. It should be fun. It should be the reward, something that they run to. Like, oh, we're gonna go read. You know?
Right.
So it's the same thing. We got to make sure we got to shift our mindsets. Yeah. So we shift their mindset on what they actually need to be doing, and we have to start teaching those, like you said, teaching those things early. My 2-year-old, baby, he ahead of the curve. You be telling you. He had the curve, baby. I mean, look at other people. You're like, all right. But that's just a decision that I made within myself. I'm going to do this,
right?
And I'm teaching you stuff early. Please and thank you. We got books, cute little black people saying please and thank you.
Right.
Some of his first words were please and thank you. If you forget what you forget to say, please. What you forget to say, thank you. Okay, early. And it's those type of things that you have to ingrain in them. He's been watching me cook since he was old enough to sit in the high chair and sit in the kitchen. And now he stands on the chair. You want to stir? Yeah, we're gonna be careful, but you can stir that pot. I was just washing dishes today. Oh, he washed dishes now. He's standing on the chair 2 years old and help me wash dishes. Like, these are the things. And it's like, oh, you're doing this with mommy. So one day you can do it by yourself.
Exactly.
But it's the same thing with social emotional learning too. Let me help you identify these things. Let me help you see who these people, like you said, who's your helpers? Who wash your face? Right? Let me help you until you can figure it out on your own. But we can't keep sheltering these kids because we're doing them a disservice. They become adults who are still 2 years old.
That is so true. I mean, for real, 2 years old.
2 years old. Emotionally, you're 2. And I just look at people like, you're a child even.
Right. Oh, that's real. That is a real thing. Like,
it really is.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get to wrapping up. I don't want to hold you forever, even though we'll probably keep talking forever.
I know it.
Good conversation, and thank you all for being with us. Go ahead and drop in the comments if you have any questions, comments, concerns. But we're gonna start bringing it around to a close. The first thing I would love for you to do is I do notes for the people, because it's one thing to talk about it, but it's one thing to have a solidified, this is what I need to do, that you can save to your phone, screensaver it if you need to really implement within your own life. So I'm gonna grab my pen. Okay. And my question to you is, what are 5 things that an ordinary person, whomever is watching this video, can take and actually implement in their lives to be better or to learn social emotional learning?
Oh, okay. 5 things. Okay. First and foremost, I would say try to carve out some time to find out what you like. And it could be as many things as you want, but just kind of carve out some time, like get a list, a sheet of paper, whatever, or use your phone, and just start jotting down all the things that you like. Things you love to do. Interest, what kind of music, what's my favorite genre of music, what's my favorite restaurant, type of food I like to eat, just all of that. Like, I would say that's number 1, just finding out what you like and finding that. Number 2, I would have to say, don't be afraid of the word no. Not a bad word. No, it's not a bad word. And then make a list of the things that you feel is just a no for you. Whatever it is that you like, no, that's a no. Whatever comes to mind, like the first few things, 3 to 5 things that come to mind, it's like, oh, that's a no. And it could be something even as simple as like, I I don't know, kitten heels. That's a no. You know, whatever. You know,
No kitten heels.
yes, no kitten heels. You know, whatever comes to mind. What is a no for you? Okay. And think about how you feel like when you look at those things on that list and you say that's a no. What happens to you? What's your body's response? So what are you thinking about? Are you getting like really frustrated or agitated? And pay attention to that and see, kind of like dissect a little bit why you feel the way that you do. Why is it that I don't do that? Why would I say no to that? Number 3, I would have to say is be open to help. Okay, we're all in this world together for a reason. Um, we're not in this world by ourselves. So that's purposeful because we're all here to help each other. So be able to accept help and identify the people in your life that you know you can go to. That would be number 3. Number 4, let's see. I would say number 4 is learning how to let things go. So that kind of falls into the realm of things that's outside of our control. Okay, so if you need to start making a list of things that are really like purely outside of your control, and looking at that list and kind of teaching yourself how to let those things go. How does that look for me? So if I think about the pandemic, right? That was outside of my control. Okay. How can I let that go? How I can let it go is because I personally don't have some type of cure for virus. Okay. I don't plan on going to school or mixing up nothing in the lab to figure that out. So can't do that, you know. Unfortunately, I can't bring back some people that have passed away. That's something I just really don't have control over. And I have to understand that and let it go. And so I would say number 4 would be learning how to let things go. Identifying things that are outside of your control and learning how to let go.
And one thing for that point one of my coin terms again is I'm letting God handle all things above me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's above me now.
It truly is. And let it go.
And let it go.
And then I would say number 5. I would say one more thing. Oh, I'm kind of getting stuck. Okay, so let me see. Okay, I would say the last thing is thinking about something that puts a smile on your face. So not necessarily a passion or, you know, like, what do I like to do? And no, like immediately when you think of that thing or that person or whatever it is, what puts a smile on your face? And the reason why that's important, because there are going to be times in your life where all the tools in your tool shed are going to seem like they just don't work. Like you have tried every single thing and you like, I still feel like crap. But that one thing, if I think about that joke that someone said, I think about this time when, you know, I was walking down the street and an older lady looked at me and said, "Oh, you're blessed," or she just took my hand and she gave me a hug and I felt loved or I felt warm or whatever it is that just puts a smile on your face. I would say that that's number 5. Identify what that is, because one day you might need it.
Okay, because one day you might need it. That was like a perfect little bullet point at the end of that, a little period. Boom, done. Okay, so I'm gonna run them back for you. You let me know if it's anything I need to change, if I got them right or not. Okay, and then I'm actually gonna make this note sheet. I'll send it to you. I'll be posting it to the page so everybody can see it again, because we're gonna implement these things. We're gonna do them. All right. And then I'm going to give a few points that I picked up along the way from the conversation that people can hold on to as well. One thing that we talked about is identify your trauma.
Yeah.
Identify your trauma. Yeah. Another point that I pulled from the conversation is that we have to backtrack and fine comb through our life to figure out where these traumas came from and how we can heal from them. Right. So those are 2 things that I pulled out that you guys can definitely take. But these are yours. Again, let me know if I need to shift anything. But number 1, I added this part because this is what I got from the sum up. But find out who you are. Yeah. Find out who you are. So this is what do you like? Make a list of things that you like. And then the second part is don't be afraid to say the word no. And think about how you feel and why you feel that way. Okay. When you're saying no, why is that a no?
Right.
Right? Why is that a no? And how you feel when you say no?
Yeah.
What that bring up for you? Okay. Identify your emotions.
Yeah.
The next one is accept help. And that's a big one.
Yeah.
That is a big one. Accept help. We want to be Mighty Mouse. We want to do it all ourselves. I'm talking to myself. Because somebody else might feel the same way, but I know it's me. For sure. We want to do it all. We got to accept help when help is provided. Okay. And then another one is learn to let things go that are out of your control. Yeah. Learn to let it go. And then the last one is make a list of who/what makes you happy, because you may need it one day.
Yeah.
Did I get you right, son?
You were on it, okay?
All right, son. All right, we're gonna make this cheat sheet for y'all. Okay, we're gonna put it out there so y'all can keep this forever. Print it out, put it next to your mirror or whatever you need to do, and we're gonna all get better at this, because, like we said, it's ongoing.
Yes, it's a process.
Forever, we're gonna be working on social emotional learning. Teach it to yourself, then teach it to your kids.
Yeah.
If you ain't got no kids, teach it to your nieces and nephews. If you ain't got none of them, teach it to some community children. Okay.
Just
somebody, a friend, because grown folks. We talked about how grown folks need this information. Okay. Right. Friends, because you got some friends that can need a little social emotional learning along with you. Okay. We all in this boat together. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. One more time before we leave, can you let the people know what are the names of your books, where they can find them, and where they can find you?
Alrighty, again, I'm Angie D. Lee. I am a women's fiction author, and I'm also a school social worker. You can find me on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under the handle Lee Jureed, and it's spelled like my last name, so LEESUREREAD, Lee Jureed. Okay, so those are my handles. Definitely connect with me online, and definitely sign up for my mailing list. If you go to my website, it's angiedlee.com. As soon as you sign up, this is the cool part. As soon as you sign up for my mailing list, you will get the first full chapter of my most recent novel, Something New, for free. It's like
give them a little bit, they can come back for more.
It's gonna come right to your inbox as soon as you sign up. So definitely sign up for that. My two books that are out right now, Discovering Lita and Something New, are available on all the online book retailers, but you can definitely find it on Amazon.
Yes, AngieDZ.com. And sign up and get that first chapter.
Yes.
I'll be doing that right after we go. I need that first chapter. Okay, because that quote had me like, So I know the first chapter, I'm going to be like, Amazon shopping carts.
Right.
And yes. Well, thank you so much, sister. Thank you to all of you for viewing. Did you enjoy yourself?
So enjoyed myself. I tell people all the time, I'm always nervous in front of the camera. I really am. So I have to talk to myself beforehand and just get in there and do it. So
you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Amazing job. Thank you again for being here. I'm gonna go check this out, and I'm gonna buy a book, both of them. Okay, and I'm gonna go sign up to get that first chapter first.
Yeah.
And all of you do the same. Head over to angiedlee.com. Sign up for the mailing list. Get that first chapter, and then slide on over to Amazon when you're done reading that first chapter, and buy both books. Okay. Yeah. Well, we love you, sis. And again, blessings. Have a great day, and I'm sending you all the peace.
Love it.
For going into these schools and dealing with these babies and their parents.
Yes.
Because it's necessary. It's hard work, but it's rewarding work, and the community and the world needs it. So you are an everyday hero. Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
And until next time, y'all, we will see you next Friday. My God, we won't see you next Friday. Yeah, I almost forgot. See, I almost forgot. This is the last Free Your Mind Friday.
Oh no!
For a little while. We'll be back. back, but it's a scheduled hiatus.
Yeah.
We're gonna take to revamp and actually come with some more programming for
Ooh.
you guys. So we'll be gone for a little bit, but we'll be back.
Yes.
So it's the last one for a minute. So thank you for being our last guest for a minute.
You. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. And you guys can follow the Healing Academy everywhere on Instagram. Is we heal _heal because we heal for real. Our website is wehealheal.org. Facebook, the Healing Academy. And on Tuesday, you can check us out Tuesday for our last show for a while, which is the Breathe experience with myself and Miss Dion Victoria every Tuesday at 6. Y'all, don't get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I see you there. See you, girl. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.